Hello everyone, welcome to the September 19th edition of the Lasso Portfolio Daily Recap. We are back over 70,000 on our overall profit for the year since May, since this account was open in May. Just over $6,000 profit on the day today. So nice move in profit on the portfolio today. Just a quick overview of the market today. Dow Jones was down just a little bit, under 1/4%. S&P was just about even. Nasdaq was just up just a tad, under 1/4%. The Russell was down almost 0.5% today. Volatility didn't move too much, up just under percent, around 14. VIX is at 14. And then bonds were up a tad, and gold was up a tad. So that's where we're at on the market today. Now going through our positions. I'll start here with Apple. And of course I can't find it. There it is. Apple down almost 1% today, closed at 220.96. We have a couple of puts that we sold in Apple that expire tomorrow. So if Apple closes below 212.5, then we'll be the proud owners. We'll happily buy Apple at 212 and 212.50 per share. And then we have some calls on Apple as well, a couple income trades on Apple. Let's take a closer look at those. So first of all, the puts that we sold. So again here, if Apple closes below 212.50, then we'll buy Apple for 212.50. We'll buy 200 shares at that price. As far as our income trades are concerned, here on the October 18th expiration, you can see we're above 80% probability out of the money, so we're well within the green zone on that income trade. And then on the income trade that expires October 25th, again, well above 80%, so we're well into the green zone on that trade as well, so we are good there. Okay, next, Alibaba. And Alibaba was up about a quarter of a percent today, closed at 180.46. We do have an income trade as well as puts that we sold on Alibaba. Take a quick look at those. All of that expires next week, September 27th. So here, if Alibaba closes below 162.50, then we will buy some shares at that price. Our income trade, again, above 80% probability out of the money, so well within the green zone on that income trade. Next, BIDU. We are long 400 shares of BIDU, and we do have an income trade on BIDU as well. So take a look here. And BIDU is down a little over 0.5%, closed at 107.77. So our income trade here, that is again above 80% probability out of the money, so well within the green zone on that income trade that expires next week. Next we have Chipotle. Chipotle, we just have a couple income trades on there. Chipotle was down just under 0.5%, closed at 832.09. Take a look at those income trades. So the one that expires next week here, that is definitely in the danger zone. So we have made an adjustment on that position already. And of course, we added a second tier. And here, the second tier is well above 80% probability out of the money, so that is well within the green zone. The first tier, we'll keep an eye on that. If that goes any deeper into the danger zone, then we may have to make another adjustment on that trade. All right, Disney. Disney was the biggest loser on our Lasso watch list, down over 2.5%, closed at 133.30 on the day. We do already have some puts that we sold on Disney that expire next week. So here, if Disney closes below 130 on September 27th, next Friday, then we will buy some shares of Disney at 130. Facebook. We are long 200 shares of Facebook. And then we also sold a couple covered calls today because it was up over 1%, closed at 190.14. So to take a quick look at that, sold the 197.50 calls, covered calls for next week's expiration. So if Facebook closes above 197.50 next Friday, then we will go ahead and sell our shares of Facebook for a profit, and also keep the $82 that we received for selling the calls today. Gold. Gold was up just under 0.5%, closed at 141.28. We are long 300 shares of gold, and we do have some covered calls for those that we sold, expire next week. And here, if gold is above 147 after next week, then we will go ahead and sell our shares for a profit. Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs was down today almost 1%, closed at 215.23. We do have two sold puts, two cash secured puts, as well as a couple income trades still open on Goldman. So let's take a closer look at that. The cash secured puts are for next week's expiration. So if Goldman Sachs closes below $205 per share next week, next Friday, then we will buy some shares of Goldman Sachs at $205 per share. The income trades, those are on the call side. We are well above 80% probability out of the money, so well within the green zone on this income trade, and the one that expires October 25th, also above 80%, so well within the green zone for both of those income trades. IWM. Let's see, where's IWM? We were down today just about 0.5%, closed at 155.76. We do have a few cash secured puts on IWM, as well as a second tier still open income trade. So take a closer look at those. The cash secured puts expire next week. If IWM closes below 149.50 per share, we will buy a few hundred shares of IWM at 149.50. And then the October 18 income trade that remains open, well above 80% probability out of the money, so well within the green zone at this point. JP Morgan. JP Morgan was down about 0.3%, closed at 119.38. We have some cash secured puts and an income trade on JP Morgan, so we'll take a closer look at those. The cash secured puts are for next week's expiration. If JP Morgan closes below 113 per share, then we will buy JP Morgan at 113 per share. And October 18th, we do have the second tier still open, income trade still open. It is in the danger zone, so we're keeping an eye on that. Just inside the danger zone, so we've already made our adjustment, and we're waiting to see if we need to make any further adjustments on that trade. NDX, we do have a naked call on the NDX, but of course when we look at NDX we have to look at the QQQ because we have that naked call hedged with 40 QQQ calls. So we'll take a quick look at that Nasdaq, the NDX naked call. That is for October 11th's expiration, and you can see way down here 95% probability out of the money. We're just waiting for that to come down a little bit more in price, and we'll take our profit on that. Of course, it's naked, but if it goes against us, we have it hedged with our calls also for the October 11th expiration. And here are those calls that we have on the queue, which are hedging our naked NDX call. We also do have, while we're looking at the queues, we do have cash secured puts on the queues at 182.50. It's currently 192.84. So if it does close below the 182.50 next week, then we will buy some shares at 182.50. Netflix, we do have a cash secured put on Netflix, and we also we are long some puts on Netflix. So here is our cash secured put. If Netflix closes below 277.50 by next week, next Friday, then we will buy some shares of Netflix. And then up here, these are the 235 calls. We are long these calls, so this is just kind of a freebie play. Just holding on to these in case there's a sudden drop in Netflix, and we can make a little extra profit with these free calls that we have left over from an income trade that we already took profit on. Nvidia. So Nvidia down over 1.5% today. Closed at 176.94. We do have some cash secured puts already on Nvidia, or maybe we actually entered those today. But we did close out of an income trade on Nvidia, and actually this was the third tier that we closed out on this Nvidia trade. Just to take a quick look at that those cash secured puts, those do expire tomorrow. So if Nvidia is below 170 after tomorrow, then we will buy Nvidia at $170 per share. Now, this income trade, this third tier in this income trade, that closes out our income trade position on Nvidia, and we did have to take that to 3 tiers. So the first tier was a loss, and the overall trade, we wound up losing $376 on this trade. However, that was after managing the initial income trade, which would have been a $7,500 loss. So we were able to save a $7,500 loss and make it only a $376 loss. So great learning opportunity for those of you who are learning these income trades, learning the bull put spreads and the bear call spreads, and learning how to manage those. If those go against you, knowing what to do and how to manage those to turn losses, big losses, into small losses, or even turning them into the profits. In this case, a very small loss compared to what could have been a very big loss. So we'll obviously go into more detail on that on the subscriber video. QQQ we already looked at. Target. Target was up almost 1%, closed at 107.87. We didn't do anything with that today. We do have some cash secured puts on Target. Those expire tomorrow as well. here are those. So if target closes below $102 per share by tomorrow's close, then we will buy target for $102 per share. TLT, this is the bonds ETF. Bonds were up today. TLT was up 0.3%, closed at 140.04. We do have cash secured puts on TLT as well as an income trade. So let's take a look at those. Our cash secured puts expire tomorrow. If TLT closes below 139.50, then we will buy TLT. That is well within the expected move. So, oops, didn't mean to do that. So we may be buying some shares of TLT, and we'll buy them at 139.50 if that happens. Our income trade expires next week. We are at 77% probability out of the money, so that is now in the caution zone. So we'll keep an eye on that. Make sure it stays out of the danger zone before we have to make any adjustments. Tesla. Tesla was the strongest performer in our portfolio today, up over 1%, 1.25%. Closed at 246.60. We do have cash secured puts as well as an income trade on Tesla. Let's take a closer look at those. All of those expire next week. So the cash secured put, we have the 220. So if Tesla closes below $220 per share next week, then we will buy Tesla at $220 per share. And then the income trade is at 83% probability out of the money. So at this point, we are in the green zone on that income trade. And last but not least, Walmart. Walmart was about flat today, closed at 117.11. We just have some cash secured puts on Walmart that expire next week. Those are here. So if Walmart closes below $111 per share after next Friday, then we will buy Walmart at that price. All right, so that covers the portfolio for today. Be sure to check out that subscriber video so you can take a close look at that Nvidia trade and see what we did there so you can know how to manage those trades when they go against you. All right, make it a great night. We'll see you at the next daily recap.